Hello and welcome to my in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 20th of December for the Sun or the Ascendant. As ever, I'm going to give you the major strands of this week before diving deep and in forensic detail giving you each of the 12 zodiac sign forecasts, so please stay with me for that. This week is going to see the Sun arrive in the sign of Capricorn on Tuesday, but this also heralds the winter solstice. So we're entering the fourth quadrant of the Western tropical astrological year, so the last 13 weeks run. So this is a really notable transition. The sign of Capricorn is very much to do with structures, it's to do with the more traditional features of life. It can be an area that we have a focus on goals and ambitions, and therefore to do with our professional interactions, but not exclusively. Of course, the sign of Capricorn is Earth, and it is cardinal, so it's very much a sign of leadership. So the free-spirited energy of Sagittarius makes way for the more somber vibe of Capricorn, but we still have Mars in Sagittarius, which is a very adventurous combination. And in fact, by the end of this week, Mars is forging a super link with Saturn. So when we get the energy of Mars combining collaboratively with the structural energies of Saturn, that can be very positive. Now, as this week begins, we also have Mercury in a terrific angle with Uranus across the first 3 days. Mercury already in the sign of Capricorn, dazzling in the electric link with Uranus, asks us to be very open-minded about how we deploy our resources. Anything to do with business decisions as well. The more innovative we are, the better it can be. Remember, the full moon from last week is still very, very potent this week. And that's basically saying to us that we need to use our language carefully. The everyday communications of the moon in Gemini competing with the more expansive energies of the sun in Sagittarius. So choosing our words carefully this week continues to be a theme. If we're traveling anywhere, important to check out things carefully. But Jupiter was very supportive to that particular lunation. So I think there can be some uplift from that feeds into this week. But by Friday, by Christmas Eve, we do have the square between Saturn and Uranus repeating itself exactly for the third time this year. But you know, the truth is, within a few degrees, they've actually been agitating at one another pretty well since about the second week of January. But this just reminds us that the liberty that Uranus wants us to have has to be balanced against the responsibilities that Saturn wants us to show. So there could be something that is stopping us being quite as free as we would like on Christmas Eve. And then on Christmas Day, we have the second of two conjunctions between Venus and Pluto. The first was on the 11th of December, and of course last week Venus went into its retrograde. Now this could bring about some real lovely sentimental connections, perhaps to people from our past. Perhaps we can really appreciate how fortunate we are to have the folks in our life that we have had. But if you're in a relationship where there is quite a lot of leverage around money or even intimacy, Venus's combination with Pluto can make us much more conscious of the power balance that's going on Christmas Day as well. Can you believe it? So that's a potentially tricky one, but definitely an opportunity to celebrate the stability of the relationships that do work well for us. And if you're not in a relationship, or even spending this Christmas time alone, which I have experienced myself, and it's not easy, what I would say to you is this does give you an opportunity to think very profoundly about what you would like going into next year, future forward. But I am now going to share with you each of the 12 zodiac signs in detail. But just before I do, remember, if you'd like to sign up for your free daily horoscope, written horoscope, direct to your device each morning, please see the link beneath this video. Also, if you'd like to get your year 2022 personal forecast, you can do so and get your character analysis as well. You will get the full 12 months from the time of the order to the end of next year. If you order in January, you will get 12 months from that point, but 30% off too. Hello Gemini, and welcome to your in-depth forecast for week commencing the 20th of December. I'd like to wish you a very happy Christmas time. This week begins with a connection between Uranus and also Mercury. Mercury's in a very deep part of your situation, but Uranus in a very psychological one. And I just feel that you may see something in a different way just right at the start of this week, which can be very helpful to you. The power of last week's full moon in your sign is still prominent this week, and it is supported still by the uplifting and expansive energies of Jupiter. So when it comes to a relationship situation, I think what Jupiter's asking you to do is try to see the upside of situations, but also be realistic about the reality, the truth. Because Uranus and Saturn do come back into exact conflict this week, particularly on Christmas Eve, unfortunately. And it may be that one particular situation that you may find a bit tender to look at, maybe you do have to confront the reality of a particular vibe, attitude, or way that someone is being. But of course, Tuesday does see the winter solstice, and the sun's travel into the sign of Capricorn for you is very much about diving deep. It's joining with Mercury, joining with Venus, joining with Pluto, and those two come together on Christmas Day in a very passionate connection. If you're fortunate enough to be in a relationship where you're really at ease and very settled in the investment you have in a particular intimate relationship, I think you can really enjoy it on Christmas Day this year. If you feel that the relationships in your world are a bit lacking in depth, in sincerity, even intensity, it may be something that you do really think about this week. But on Saturday and Sunday, Mars in your opposite sign, great if you are wanting to connect to someone. If you're single in this week, well, that's forging a very lovely angle to Saturn. Perhaps you're going to have a conversation with someone that maybe you can't spend together if it's a new relationship over Christmas immediately, but I think soon after Christmas, that angle between Mars and Saturn is just giving you some kind of structure or basis to work from going forwards. But I think in general in your relationships you're looking for more depth, more sincerity, more meaning. And also if a relationship is based only on a material dimension, it could seem a little empty. But if it's hot and very connected, then this could be a very romantic Christmas time. I hope you have a great week.